Hi, we are the group doing teaching climate science in elementary classrooms. I'm Megan.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Valarie.
So our main topics for this book is hope-filled action, place-based learning, community learning and action, um, interdependent Earth systems, environmental solutions in the class within the classroom, and then the connections to our course readings.
So our first one is hope-filled action. This is one of the guiding principles of the book, and it's talked about throughout the entire book. So climate change can be really scary and overwhelming, especially for children. So it's important not to just teach them about all the terrifying and things that they can't control. So the best way to teach about climate science is with hope-filled action, which means it fills them with hope. So they're filled with agency to be change makers who can help our planet and help the environment. So it is a way to teach in a positive way that empowers students to enact change. So examples would be like, oh, planting trees or beach cleanups. So um, having students do something positive and also teaching them in a positive way where they feel like they can make things better. Um, the second one, another guiding principle of this book that is talked about throughout the book is place-based learning. And this focuses on learning about science in a community or through one's lived experiences. So many students may come from different communities. So when that happens, you can teach about the community the school is in. And again, climate change is huge and overwhelming. However, children can feel empowered. A big part of this book is making children feel empowered to enact change, is to enact change in their community, their local community. So, for example, we live in California and there's a lot of drought. So, teaching children how to conserve water so that they have agency and power to enact change. Or if children live near a beach, that would be like their local community, and you can engage in beach cleanups.
So kind of echoing off of what Jackie just shared with us about like community. So another one was connecting to students' daily lives in the community. And so community learning, we saw there's kind of two contexts of community learning and action. One was the feeling of community and collective effort. So another example that I found was in chapter 6 when we were talking about human and natural systems with issues of the release of fossil fuels. One like community solution and collective effort was to come together and find a more sustainable way for students to commute to school. So they said that like everyone could, come together at a certain time and they'd all travel together to school. And so that was a physical and environmental solution that kind of was a collective community effort. Another context of community learning and action is the physical community. So looking at the science topics that you can teach and looking at where that could be implemented within your school or the neighborhood community. So another example is in chapter 4 when students were learning about photosynthesis in the forest systems. The books suggested that students look at trees, like it could be in a community garden or on your school campus, and watch the process of a tree like growing through its life cycle. Another main topic that we highlighted in this book is the Earth science systems, and so the context or the science contents was highlighting the carbon cycle, teaching about where the carbon cycle is, where is carbon found, so like in plants or soil. The other one was in chapter 4, forest systems. which highlighted the process of photosynthesis and oxygen. And then the rest other systems that we included was ocean systems, human and natural systems, food systems, which I thought was really important for students to kind of take a look at, the transportation, the consumption, and even the waste of our food. And then another interdependent earth system was the energy system.
Okay, so now moving on to environmental solutions. It can help engage students by addressing past, current, or future problems. What I really liked about how this book talked about how students should approach environmental solutions, that it's great when they work, but it's also important to not stress to students when they don't work. Because even by exploring these concepts, students can understand these topics through real world applications as they're experimenting with these environmental solutions. And creating their own also sparks a sense of agency and hope filled actions rather than instilling fear. This can be done at any grade level, even in younger grades. So, how you could do that when you're setting it up for younger grades to help them understand it a little bit better at their level is by simply using the power of storytelling and how it provides context that suits comprehension levels. So, you don't only have to do storytelling with the younger grades, it's also really, really helpful for the older grades to um, understand as well. And you kind of see this example in chapter 9, where you hear about a story about a girl and her grandpa and how they went on walks in their community and how a creek that they walked by all the time eventually became polluted. So this story can help inspire students to come up with environmental solutions to help solve potential problems that could occur in their own community or elsewhere as well. Some environmental solutions can look like with based projects, school gardens, greenhouses, recycling, waste reduction, or water conservation. Community-based product projects where you do community cleanup, as mentioned earlier, public awareness campaigns or local environment campaigns. And some of the outcomes when students are engaging in environmental solutions, they're increasing their awareness, engagement, and empowerment as learners. Next slide. And then the connections that we made throughout this book, how the importance of having cultural relevant content in your lessons when teaching about climate science. This kind of ties in to the Jones reading about the curriculum violence and about rehumanizing education, is that when you are being more inclusive to students with really diverse backgrounds, it makes these lessons a lot more meaningful and impactful when you're taking into consideration about their backgrounds. Um, and also empowering students, how teachers can empower students by creating their own content that is relevant to help uplift students about climate change rather than instilling fear. Um, this ties into again with like hope-filled action that the book talked about a lot. And this also results to students being able to self-reflect and understand how they, as learners, how they learn as students when given the opportunity to.
And
But
then
yeah.
and then here's our last reference page. And that's it. Thank you.